Hello and welcome to the 9th week of Season 21, Season of the Deep, starting on July 18th, 2023. So for week 9, let's kick things off with our legacy rotation, starting with the Forsaken expansion.
Ready if you are. Let's see what's out there.
The Dreaming City this week is at a medium curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in the Devilian Mist, and has the Oracle Engine mission for the next week. The Blind Well features Hive enemies and the Plague Kragar. The Ascendant challenge this week will be the Shattered Ruins, which can be located over in the Spine of Keris on the Dreaming City. Next up, the Shadowkeep expansion. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is a mysterious disturbance. The Trove Guardian is located in the Anchor of Light, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Jax, Claws of Zivra Wrath at the Hellmouth. And the Nightmare hunts this week will be Crota, Despair, Fogoth, Fear, and Ghoul, Rage. For our Beyond Light expansion, on Europa this week, Phylax the Warrior will be the Empire Hunt, Asterian's Abyss will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Agility. For the 30th anniversary expansion, we have the loot rotation for Dares of Eternity, which will be on week 1's rotation with the Scatthorn armor set and the Wild Hunt armor set being available. The weapons available this week will be the Arc Lightweight Frame Bow, Arsenic Bite 4B, the Arc Adaptive Frame Heavy Grenade Launcher, Blast Batu, the Solar Precision Frame Linear Fusion Rifle, Corsair's Wrath, the Void Waveframe Energy Grenade Launcher, Deafening Whisper, the Kinetic Adaptive Frame Hand Cannon, Dire Promise, the Kinetic Precision Frame Sidearm, Enigma's Draw, the Kinetic Lightweight Frame Submachine Gun, Escape Velocity, the Arc Adaptive Frame Pulse Rifle, Giant 7 Rifle, the Kinetic Precision Frame Submachine Gun, Friction Fire, the Void Precision Frame Scout Rifle, Royal Chase, the Kinetic Aggressive Frame Hand Cannon, True Prophecy, and the Solar Adaptive Frame Fusion Rifle, Timeline's Vertex. For the Witch Queen expansion, the Witch Queen weekly story mission is the Ghosts, where the modifiers are Fire Pit and Raider Shields, as well as Barrier and Unstoppable champions. Also this week you will have Altar of Reflection's Catalyst and Altar of Reflection Pact. The Wellspring activity has been updated to include a featured Throne World weapon, Veritas armor, and a weapon pattern as its rewards. For the Lightfall expansion, the weekly mission is First Contact, with extra shields, lock loadouts and extra champions, Barrier and Unstoppable champions, Void Threat, Scorched Earth, Overcharged weapons, Arkenstrand Surges, Overcharged shotguns, and Galvanized on hero difficulty only. The Partition mission will be Ordnance, contest mode enabled with Overload and Unstoppable champions, Solar Threat, Arkenstrand Shields, Air Superiority modifier with Solar and Strand Surges. And the Vex incursion this week will be Umshire Park. In addition, the weekly Lightfall reset also refreshes the Pinnacle drop for the Node Override Avalon Exotic mission on the EDZ. For the Season of the Deep, the featured fishing pond will be on Nessus. Raids and Dungeons. The Root of Nightmares raid challenge this week is the first encounter, Cataclysm, called Illuminated Torment. This is where every Tormentor must be killed by a player with the Field of Light buff. The Kingshall raid challenge this week is the fourth encounter, Daughters of Oryx, called Under Construction. Players cannot stand on the same plate twice in a single phase. The Vow the Disciple challenge this week is the second encounter, the Caretaker, called Base Information, where runners cannot pick up more than one stack of knowledge on each run. The Vault of Glass challenge this week is the fifth encounter, Atheon, called Ensembler's Refrain. Each player teleported can only destroy one oracle in each spawn set. The Gun of Salvation challenge this week is the second encounter, Spy Defense, called A Link to the Chain. This is where all Guardians must receive the Enlighten buff at the same time. And the Last Wish challenge this week is the fourth encounter, Vault, called Keep Out. Guardians must ensure that no Might of Riven Knights make it to the Center Chamber during the Vault fight. Your Pinnacle raid will be the Deepstone Crypt over on Europa, which means all challenges will be available for each encounter. These are the first encounter, Crypt Security, called Red Rover. This is where all Guardians must be an operator and shoot the two panels on the low levels. The second encounter, Atrax 1, called Copies of Copies, where you must not send any Atrax 1 replicant debuffs into the airlock/space. The third encounter, Tanix Part 1, called Of All Trades. Guardians must perform each role at least once, Operator, Scanner and Suppressor. And the fourth encounter, Tanix, called The Core 4. Guardians must dunk all 4 cores before each DPS phase. Also, with the Deepstone Crypt being the featured raid, this does mean that you can farm the final boss for a chance at the exotic rocket launcher, Eyes of Tomorrow. And the Pinnacle dungeon will be the Pit of Heresy on the Moon. Next up, challenges. Rapid Salvager, Rapidly defeat 30 combatants in salvage activities. 4. Challenge XP+. Patience Perfected. Catch 5 legendary or exotic fish at any fish pond. 4. Challenge XP+. Ritual Ornament. Acquire any ornament for the seasonal ritual weapon. 4. Challenge XP+++ and Bright Dust. Eyeing Iron. Complete Crucible matches. Earn bonus progress in Iron Banner and for victories. 4. Challenge XP+ and Bright Dust. Ethereal Might. Defeat 200 targets with an Arc, Strand or Void subclass equipped in Gambit. Bonus progress is granted for ability final blows and defeating Guardians. 4. Challenge XP++ and Bright Dust. And Rapid Precision. Get Rapid Precision final blows. Bonus progress is granted for every defeated target after that second one. 4. Challenge XP+++ and Bright Dust. Hello! As a reminder, your daily loss sector will show you a flag outside which will give you details of threats, shields, champions and exotic armour you'll find inside. But if you're new to the game or you're using an alternate character and can't find the flag outside, you will have to run through the loss sector normally to have it show up on your map as a legend/master, which you can either do solo or with a fire team, but you will only be able to earn a chance at the exotic drop when completing solo. Tuesday, July 18th will be the K1 crew quarters on the moon for exotic chests, Arc Threat, Arc and Strand Surges, Solar Shields, Hot Knife Modifier, Overcharged Glaives, with Barrier and Overload champions. Wednesday, July 19th will be the K1 Logistics on the moon for exotic helmets, Void Threat, Arc and Void Surges, Arc and Solar Shields, Hot Knife and Chafe modifiers, with Barrier and Overload champions. Thursday, July 20th will be the K1 Communion on the moon for exotic boots, Solar Threat, Arc and Strand Surges, Solar and Void Shields, Arachno modifier, Overcharged Linear Fusion Rifle, with Barrier and Overload champions. Friday, July 21st will be Sepulture on the Throne World for exotic gauntlets, Solar Threat, Arc and Strand Surges, Arc and Solar Shields, Fire Pit modifier, Overcharged Fusion Rifle, with Barrier and Unstoppable champions. Saturday, July 22nd will be Extraction on the Throne World for exotic chests, Arc Threat, Arc and Strand Surges, Arc and Void Shields, Raider Shield modifier, Overcharged Glaives, with Overload and Unstoppable champions. Sunday, July 23rd will be Aphelios Rest on the Dreaming City for exotic helmets, Solar Threat, Arc and Strand Surges, Void Shields, Epitaph modifier, Overcharged Shotguns, with Overload and Unstoppable champions. And finally, back round to Monday, July 24th will be the Chamber of Starlight on the Dreaming City for exotic boots, Solar Threat, Arc and Strand Surges, Solar and Void Shields, Epitaph modifier, Overcharged Swords, with Overload and Unstoppable champions.
Lead the way.
Our 9th Featured Nightfall will see us face off against Navota in the Disgrace Nightfall over on the Cosmodrome, where you have a chance to get a Pinnacle engram if you complete the Nightfall with a score of 200k or more. This Nightfall is free to play. You'll be able to earn high-end gear for your characters, including the Nightfall featured weapon, exotic gear, enhancement cores, enhancement prisms, ascendant shards and adept Nightfall ciphers. The higher the Nightfall difficulty, the more common the drop will be, with the featured weapon and exotic gear being uncommon at hero difficulty to being common with ascendant shards in Grandmasters. Legend and lower Nightfalls will have 9 barrier and 2 unstoppable champions, with 6 solar, 2 void and 27 arc shields. Masters and GMs will have 14 barrier and 2 unstoppable, with 4 solar, 1 void and 23 arc shields. Your Nightfall modifiers are hero difficulty, maximum effective level is 1765, matchmaking is available, enemies have extra shields, champions foe, you will face barrier and unstoppable champions. You can either use intrinsic exotics, use a subclass debuff, or unlock anti-champion mods from the seasonal artifact. Arc Threat, 25% increase to incoming arc damage. Fire Pit, Acolyte spawn fireballs on death. Overcharged weapons, weapons overcharged from the seasonal artifact are active in this activity. Kinetic weapons do increased damage when your subclass element matches an active surge. Arc Surge, 25% bonus to outgoing arc damage. Strand Surge, 25% bonus to outgoing strand damage. Overcharged Glaives, 25% bonus damage with glaives. Galvanized, combatants have more health and are more difficult to stun. Legend difficulty, maximum effective level 1815, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. No matchmaking. Equipment locked, you'll be unable to change your equipment once the mission starts. Master difficulty, maximum effective level 1820, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized. Champions mob, this difficulty adds more champion enemies. Famine, all ammunition drops are significantly reduced. Grandmaster difficulty, maximum effective level 1815, includes all previous modifiers except Galvanized and Famine. Joining progress disabled. Extinguish, if your fire team falls in a restricted zone, your team is returned to orbit. Limited revives, gain additional revives by defeating champions, up to a maximum of 20. Contest mode, which caps your power level to make enemies more of a challenge. And Chafe, radar is disabled. To combat champions this season, you have access to subclass counters as well as a choice of intrinsic anti-champion artifact mods, which are Anti-Barrier Auto Rifle, Unstoppable Hand Cannon, and Unstoppable Glaive. You also have exotic weapons and armor that can help with intrinsic mods as well. For Anti-Barrier, the Kinetic Bow Wishender, the Kinetic Linear Fusion Rifle Arbalest, the Kinetic Pulse Rifle Revision 0, the Solar Energy Hand Cannon Ariana's Vow, the Solar Heavy Sword the Lament, and the Titan Gauntlets Second Chance, which gain a second charge with your shield throw melee, which becomes shield piercing and stuns barrier champions. And for Unstoppable, the Kinetic Fusion Rifle Bastion, the Kinetic Hand Cannon Malfeasance, the Solar Energy Sidearm Devil's Ruin, the Void Heavy Bow Leviathan's Breath, and the Hunter Gauntlets Athros' Embrace, which have a chance to stun unstoppable champions with their empowered weighted knife. The Nightfall featured weapon to obtain this week will be the heavy machine gun, the Swarm. The Swarm is a high impact frame heavy machine gun with a base impact of 70, range of 69 and stability of 33. It can roll with Vorpal, tap the trigger and Zen Moment, with dynamic sway reduction, killing wind and one for all. It has the origin trait of Stunning Recovery, where if you stun a champion, you partially refill the magazine, trigger health regen, and improve your recovery for a short duration. And Vanguard Vindication, where final blows with the weapon grant a small amount of health. Lord Shaxx brings Team Scorch to the Crucible for the 9th week of the season. Team Scorch is a 6v6 PvP mode where all players wield a Scorch Cannon that cannot be dropped. Equipped weapons and abilities cannot be used in this game mode. Movement abilities e.g. lift, jump and glide, sprinting and emotes can be used. The Scorch Cannon has 100 ammo, which is replenished on respawn. Matches have a 7-minute timer, players have a 3-second respawn timer, kills give plus 1 point each. The first team to reach 60 points wins. If the timer runs out before the team reaches 50 points, the team with the largest score wins. The player's current and longest kill streaks are shown at the top of the screen below the score. And Rift will be returning this week in the Relentless Crucible playlist. Rift is a 6v6 game mode that focuses heavily on objective-based gameplay and not just killing the enemy team. Instead of accruing points based on defeating enemies, players can score points by picking up the spark and dunking into their opponent's rift, which is near the enemy spawn. A team can either win by scoring 5 points before the opposing team can, by scoring 3 points without the enemy team getting a look in, or having more points when the time runs out. The spark spawns in the centre of the map and starts to charge after 6 seconds of the round starting, and becomes visible for all players on the map. After another 12 to 13 seconds, the spark is available for players to pick up, giving both teams approximately 20 seconds to fight over the spark before either side can pick it up. For 5 seconds after a player picks up the spark, they become marked on both teams' maps. After that, they're only marked on their own team's map unless they are in view of the enemy team. The carrier can only hold onto the spark for 1 minute and 15 seconds. After that, the spark detonates, killing the carrier and those around them before resetting. Should the carrier die in any way that isn't from the spark detonating, the spark drops at that location. If a player picks up the spark whilst in their super, they are immediately pulled out of their super. Furthermore, they will not gain any more super energy whilst holding the spark, and will be unable to use their super even if it is fully charged. If a player dies, they must wait 10 seconds before respawning, but their teammates can revive them during this time. This forces players to focus on teamwork to help push up on their enemies, but can also leave some players out of the game for an extended duration if their team can't or won't revive them.
Delightful!
Plus, Trials of Osiris Dominion will be back once again at the weekend with some new rewards for players who do make it to the lighthouse and open the chest. These include the Hero's Wake exotic Ghost Shell, the Valiant Memory exotic Ship, the Survivor's Journey exotic Sparrow, and the new Trials shader, Glorious Patina. Trials of Osiris Dominion is a 3v3 PvP high-stakes game mode with a twist of a capture point. In Dominion, 2 teams of 3 go head-to-head in a battle for control of a capture point. Teams can either work together to capture the control point, or eliminate the enemy team to win the round. Only available from Friday reset until Tuesday weekly reset, Trials gives every player the chance to show off their PvP skills to obtain some of Destiny's most sought-after weapons and armour. Players that compete in Trials of Osiris will have all of their games tracked through a passage card, a ticket purchased from Saint 14 in the lower hangar of the tower. Winning rounds and matches in Trials of Osiris will grant exclusive weapons, armour, Pinnacle gear, Masterwork materials, and even Adept gear for the most skilled players who can reach the Lighthouse with a flawless ticket of 7 games won and no losses. 5 round wins will bag you the match for your passage card. By competing in Trials, you do have a chance to pick up 2 Pinnacle engrams from playing each week, one from 50 round wins and the other from winning 7 games. These do not have to be done all in one go, but you do have to complete them before the weekly reset.
That is amazing.
And Destiny 2's summer event, Solstice, returns this week, taking us back to the European aerial zone, with a whole host of loot in-game, including Solstice armour, event card rewards, and a bunch of cosmetics at the Eververse store. Solstice will run for the last few weeks of the season from July 18th to August 7th. And that's it for the 9th week of Season of the Deep. Thank you for watching. Allons-y.
Guardian down.